This is my Chunkman account. With a mere chunk in his possession and a dream in his heart, he began his quest to conquer the vast expanse of old-school RuneScape's landmass. He started his journey from humble beginnings in Lumbridge, but with an arsenal of custom tasks, he has faced and overcome countless challenges. His journey has taken him through the trials of total level grinding, epic quests, mysterious clues, and perilous encounters with fearsome bosses, all in order to unlock new chunks of land. Now halfway through the journey, the road ahead may be paved with even greater challenges, but with each obstacle overcome, he moves closer to his goal. So welcome to the second half of Chunkman TDK. Last episode we were finally able to complete the Desert Treasure quest, which in turn made it possible to complete the mini-quests The Curse of the Empty Lord and The Frozen Door. It also made it possible to finish the Varrock Hard Diary, and after the Frozen Door, we got our first KC at Nex and obtained some more combat achievements, which gave us another chunk that way. So a big cascade of chunks because of Desert Treasure, and the chunks we unlocked because of them were the last piece of Fossil Island, the Trollwise Mountain, and the chunk west of it, the Oozer Oasis, another part of the Isle of Souls, and the last piece of Privtinus. Now that we've unlocked the entire wilderness, it is time to go back and see what we can actually do there that will progress this account. The first thing I want to do, and you might have already guessed by what I have in the inventory here, is the achievement diary. For the easy diary we don't need much, so let's just go and do everything here. First up, we can just trade Richard here, just at the ditch at Edgeville. Let's buy one cape, it doesn't really matter which one. Let's jump the ditch, and then if we wear it, we need to actually be in the wilderness. Yes, there we go. We have completed an easy task in the wilderness area. We can also mine a piece of iron ore for another task. Enter the Chaos Altar for another task. We can also pray at the Chaos Altar for another task completed. At the Fountain of Rune, we can lower level out the team cape we just bought for another easy task. Killing a mammoth for another easy task. And then I'm going to use my main account here to activate the obelisk, as we want to go to the King Black Dragon's lair for the last task. But we have not unlocked this chunk yet, so let's do that first. That's the last chunk we needed. And now let's hope we have a free world here. Yep, no adventurers here, so that's ideal. Let's put on our prayers, and that's the last task in the easy wilderness area. But first of all, we are going to kill the King Black Dragon, as that will also give us another chunk. So let's see how long this takes. I imagine it won't take that long. Hey, there we go. That's the King Black Dragon down. Oh, we actually get a combat task as well. Nice. And I kind of forgot to bring a teleport, so I'm probably just going to stay here to see how many KC we can get. And now that I'm thinking about it, combat tasks, yeah, we're at 129. One more and we get another chunk that way. So I think, yeah, let's just die here because I also brought Blighted Super Restores instead. Yeah, this is not the wilderness, although the cave entrance is in the wilderness. Let's just perish here, and let's go collect our reward for the easy diary. Let's talk to the lesser fanatic to get our reward. We have completed all of the easy tasks in the wilderness diary. We get a wilderness sword one and an antique lamp. We can get some free runes from the mage arena every day. But the big thing here is that we can now use the teleport lever to either go to Edgeville or Ardoyne instead of only going to Ardoyne. The Edgeville part here is the very big part here, because that's just so much better when you want to go back to the bank. And that seems to be it. Let's rub the antique lamp we will put it in herb lore as well, but yeah, we still have 120k. This is going to give us 2.5k. Yeah, all little bits help, I guess. But that was the easy diary completed, and well, you would say let's immediately do the medium diary as well. But if we have a look, we can do everything except for smith a golden helmet in the resource area, because we do not have between a rock. And if we then go look, why can't we do between a rock? Well, because we do not have dwarf cannon. Why can we not do dwarf cannon? Well, we are missing that specific chunk to start the dwarf cannon quests, and yeah, this is a very solitary chunk. So with a little bit of luck, with the 2 chunk rolls we get because of completing this easy diary and for killing the King Black Dragon for the first time, maybe we can actually unlock it. So let's have a look. Let's first of all complete the 2 tasks. Let's start with the diary. The Wilderness Easy Diary has been completed. That was our 15th diary for our 393rd chunk. And then for the bosses, we have killed the King Black Dragon for the first time. Let's complete that here as well. That is our 76th boss task completed and our 394th chunk. Back to the map, and we really want the Coal Trucks chunk, because then we can finish the medium diary and actually the hard one as well. And the medium diary is definitely important because we can then do all of the small bosses, starting with Spindle, Vetian and Artio here. So in that regard, I really want to get the chunk here. It would unlock a lot more than just the cannon. But we have 60 available chunks. There's quite a few that are water, so the chances of rolling this one is not particularly that low. Although we've been rolling around it for quite a while, as you can see on our map here. But we have 2 options. Let's see if option number 1 is going to give us the chunk we want or not. Let's pick a chunk. Ooh, no. The other part of Gwynedd. There's nothing really here, and we cannot get here because, well, we almost have the entire Trenwin continent unlocked, except we cannot actually get in there because we do not have the chunk below the Fishing Guild because of all of the quests here to lead through the underground pass. But that one bad roll, although it was a chunk where everything around it was already unlockable. So that's now 59 chunks left we can roll. Let's have a look if our second chunk roll is a little bit luckier. Let's pick a chunk. Oh, okay. First of all, we roll a water chunk, getting closer and closer to the Great Current. Like 3 chunks and we're there. So let's see if we get any closer or if we roll something else. Let's pick a chunk. Ooh. That seems like an interesting chunk, and it actually is. A couple of episodes ago, when we did everything around Kel the Grim, we tried to do the Mountain Daughter quest, and we were actually missing this particular chunk because we needed to find some guy over here. So in that regard, yes, this is a very good chunk, but nothing to do with the wilderness as of yet. And there's still a couple of things I want to do there, so let's continue. But let's keep this in the back of our mind that we can finish that quest here. As our food is on the ground because we died there, might as well go back and kill a couple more King Black Dragons, as we only need 1 more combat task to actually get another chunk that way. The tasks here are fairly straightforward. Just kill the King Black Dragon 10 times, which should be very easy, 25 times, which should also be very easy. If we then hit 50, that's another chunk for the King Black Dragon, so we could just keep going. then there's one. That's very easy, and that's just making sure we have protect from melee always activated. And then we also need to kill it with a stab weapon, so that's why I took the partisan. It mostly has stab options, just one crush, so I'm hoping this will count. And then I don't think we will be able to do this one for a while, but killing 10 King Black Dragon in a privately rented instance will be for the next time. But 4 more we can do, that will put us up to 133. So that will already push us up a little bit more towards the next chunk as well. There we go. That's height penetration and claw clipper. Okay, we got both of the ones we wanted. So that's chunk number 1 obtained. Let's just keep going. We just need the 10 and the 25 KC here. I might actually go to 50 immediately so we can get another 2 chunk rolls again. There's 10 KC and I think I might reconsider going to the 50 KC because this is extremely slow. I think the biggest problem is we don't really have a good stab weapon. If we would have gotten a good stab weapon, this might have been a lot different, but currently we don't really have one. So I might just go and roll the chunk, and if we actually really need one more, we can go for the 25 KC, but let's see after the chunk roll. There's still a lot of other things to do in the wilderness as well, so that should be alright. And that's a 2-kill trip for 11 KC at King Black Dragon. I was also having a look at how far we are for the tier here, because we've completed 132 combat tasks and we're really closing into the hard tier. Only 34 points left, and I was looking at the rewards and they are pretty good. Definitely like the reduced requirement to get to God Wars bosses to 35 instead of 40, so yeah, a couple of good things here. But let's go and complete our chunk for the 130 tasks completed. Let's see which chunk we get, and then I already have something in mind to do next. Another combat achievement task completed. We have completed 130 of them. If we complete this, this will be our 26th chunk we got this way, and our 395th landmass chunk. And then back to the map we go. The map really hasn't changed much. We have unlocked 2 landmass chunks, which didn't unlock any other chunks, so we are now at 58 possibilities, and we're still hoping for 18 here to be able to do the medium diary for the wilderness. So let's have a look if we can get lucky right now. Let's pick a chunk. Ooh, that's not what we wanted, but also not that bad. 1 part of the Fremenic Isles. If we get 2 more, we can do the quests here. So interesting chunk, definitely, but for our wilderness journey it doesn't really do much. Next up is the next boss I want to tackle, which also was unlocked with the last chunk we unlocked, and that is the Chaos Fanatic, which can be found right about here. With the 1kc from Chaos Fanatic, we will get 1 chunk, and if we look at the combat achievements, we have 132. We need 3 more, and the Chaos Fanatic has 4. It's not particularly difficult, it's just 10kc, then just pretty much avoiding every attack he throws at you, going to 25kc, and then maybe a more difficult one, but it's 10 kills without drinking any potion, which restores prayer, so pretty much always going to the Chaos Halter. Depending on the PKers, this might not be possible, but definitely the 25kc will be possible, and the other 2 as well. So that will bring us up to 135, which is another chunk. So let's go see how it goes with this kind of gear, because for some reason the Chaos Fanatic is fairly bulky. I'm not really sure why they made it with so much defense, but let's just see how this goes with this kind of gear. Hopefully the 25kc are a bit faster than what we have seen at the King Black Dragon. Alright, there's the first KC. And our first chunk, of course. And this was fairly fast, I suppose. I might have also started praying ranged instead. And because I got hit, we probably did not get the achievements. Hey, now I got it. Okay, must have done something wrong in the previous KC. But that's the first combat achievement for just avoiding everything. Just a few more hits and we are going to hit 10 kill count for the combat achievement. But also, if I did this correctly, we should get 2, yes, praying to the gods as well. We get some split bark legs, which is kind of interesting. It should be somewhat good. But that's 2 combat achievements down. Just a 25 KC left to go, but as we have reached 135 combat tasks, I'm just gonna leave it as is. We are ready to roll another 2 chunks. So let's go and complete the tasks on our dashboard and let's see which are going to be the new chunks. Another 2 fairly fast tasks done. I think all in all this took us like 30 minutes to do, so very easy chunks to get. We have done Chaos Fanatic 1 KC. If we complete this, this will be boss task number 77 we have done for our 396th chunk. And then for the combat achievements, we have gotten up to 135 for our 27th combat achievement task and our 397th chunk. With rolling the part of the Fremenic Isles, we can now roll the next part of the Fremenic Isles. We have 57 chunks we can roll, and we're still very much looking forward to the Cold Trucks one. But it's still up to the chunk picker, so let's see. For the first chunk, what are we going to get? Let's pick a chunk. Okay, starting with some water, but water is not a landmass chunk, so let's try that again. Let's pick a chunk. Is that... no, that's also not a landmass chunk. Rolling just in between the both islands here, but a water chunk is a water chunk, so let's try that again for a 3rd time. Let's pick a chunk. Ooh, okay. We're keeping it in the same part of the map, but this time we did roll a landmass chunk. A very smidgen part of the Piscatores region, and I kinda doubt you can actually get onto this part. But landmass is landmass, so that's 1 less that we can roll. Our map is actually really clearing up. If we could just clear up some of the ones here in the middle, that would be nice. But we still have 1 more chance, so let's see the next one. Let's pick a chunk. Okay, we really want to expand at the top here. But again, holy water chunk. So let's try that again. Let's pick a chunk. Oh boy, there's a lot of water chunks being rolled right about now. Everslow slightly getting closer to the Querent or the Varlamore chunks, but a water chunk is a water chunk, so 3rd time's the charm again, right? So let's pick a chunk. Oh, okay, that's the entire other part of the map, but that is part of Menopause. That's one of the 4 chunks they added, and yeah, we cannot get there yet because they haven't released the quest yet, so that's a dead chunk. There's still quite a few KC tasks left in the wilderness, but for now I'd actually like to go and finish that quest which we unlocked a bit ago, because it's been itching ever since we unlocked it, and it's still in yellow here, Mountain Daughter. I really want to just complete this, make sure that it's off our list, as we can hopefully do it. We had to stop this midway because we were missing a chunk, and where we stopped the quest was we talked to the spirit of the daughter of the mountain camp chieftain, and she wanted two things to make sure the camp would still flourish. And one thing was to make sure that they had enough food, because they normally should go to another part of mountainous areas as the food dries up pretty much. We found a new source of food for them, so that's all right. But the next thing why we are in need of that extra chunk is that they want to have a better relation with Relaka as well. And we must find the messenger that apparently did not arrive to Relaka, and he is in that newest chunk. So let's go and find him. Let's get this sorted and let's get this quest out of the way. So as you can see by the quest icon, he is somewhere in this chunk. We unlocked it, so it's now unlocked for us as well here on the game map. There he is. Apparently Svidi is afraid to go into the Relaka village because he thinks they will kill him, but he also does not want to return back to the mountain camp as they will tell him he's a coward. We asked if we could bodyguard for him, but he thought that was dangerous as well, so he wants us to get some kind of guarantee that he has some safe passage. So let's go to Relaka and see how we can actually do that. Talking to Brunt, he doesn't mind talking with them, but when the mountain people left the Relaka people, they took a big stone with them. It was a kind of symbol that represented the way of the Relaka people, that they are not using the rune essence stones, they are just relying on their own strength. So we're going to have to ask the mountain people if they actually want to give it back. The mountain chieftain was pretty clear that they did not want to take the stone back to Relaka, so we will just chip off a little bit. And maybe with the half a rock instead of the entire thing, the Relaka people will already be happy. And there we go. With a half a rock they are content. So time to actually get the two peoples together so they can form some kind of relationship. After talking to the ghost of the daughter of the chieftain, we have completed the promise we've made to her, and now she has one more thing for us to do, and that is to make sure that her father accepts that she is dead. To do that, we need to find her body, and apparently somewhere over here she was killed by a creature and then dragged away, so we will have to find its lair. Ooh, a bit further on we can find the candle, which seems to be the monster, and a corpse of a woman. Yeah, this seems to be the place. Apparently the candle is a man in a bear suit because he wanted to be left alone, being the candle scared of all of the other people. But as it's very solitary over here and sometimes he did not find anything to eat, he ate humans. We want to take the body back, but as he doesn't want to be disturbed by the mountainous people, he does not want to give up the corpse of the daughter. So there's no other way than to just kill him. Well, 3 hitting a level 70 monster, that's something, okay? But now we can get the corpse of the chieftain's daughter, so let's get it back to him. After showing the corpse of his daughter, the mountain chief has recognized that his daughter is actually dead, and it's been 14 years, not just now. A bit more of a time difference than we thought, but he wants us to bury her in the style of the mountain people. So what better place to actually do this than the place she loved so much? So let's bury her here in the middle of the lake. And there we go, that is the end of the Mountain Daughter quest. We get 2 quest points, 2000 prayer experience, 1000 attack experience, and of course the bear head, which I'm probably just going to drop immediately. That feels much better now that that yellow quest is gone. Let's go back to the dashboard, finish it over there as well, and then let's hope we can actually get the chunk we want to continue on our wilderness adventure. We have completed the Mountain Daughter quest. That was quest number 122 for our 398 chunk. And then back to the map we go. With the chunk we just unlocked, the map doesn't really change. It's just one less chunk we can roll, which is always good. And the amount of water chunks is just increasing by the minute. So let's have a look if we can unlock 17 here, the coal trucks. So let's pick a chunk. Oh god. Unlocking one water chunk and then immediately getting 2 more to unlock. Getting closer to Lunraal though, that's a very good thing, which will be very useful for the account, so that's not that bad, but water chunks are not landmass chunks. Let's try that again. Let's pick a chunk. We keep rolling water chunks, okay. Let's maybe clear up these 2 as these don't really matter. And now we have an island of the 2 next to Privdinis as well. But that's still 57 possibilities, still a massive amount of water chunks. Let's try that again, I guess. Let's pick a chunk. Oh, okay, the other way. And we have finally completed the Damon's Crater. 9 out of 9 chunks there. But yeah, it's a bounty hunter crater, so we'll never go there with this account. But kind of nice, we actually unlocked it. That's the entire thing now unlocked. So yeah, again, one less chunk we can roll. We're now 2 chunks away from 400 chunks unlocked, so might as well unlock those before the end of the episode. And I think I'm just gonna go to 50 and 100 KC at the Chaos Fanatic. There's still the last combat task, but we won't get anywhere near 140, but it will be nice to have that one done. As for the rest, we still have 2 of the shards for the Shields of the Wilderness. It would be nice to get one of these. As for the Crazy Archaeologist, we've gotten both. But for Scorpia, we have not gotten any in 50kc. So if we could get one of those shields made in the near future, that would also be nice. But I think our best bet in the Wilderness is going to be to do the Chaos Fanatic. I think 90 more kills of those is probably the easiest way to actually get to the next 2 chunks. And there's kill number 25 for the last combat achievement. That's combat achievements for Chaos Fanatic Green. 25 more before we get our first chunk. And then another 50 for our second chunk. And then we'll go and check out what we are going to get. And there's kill number 50 for our first chunk. We've also been PK'd twice, and I have no clue why people are PKing here, because this boss is really shit as loot. And I'm not risking like anything, I'm risking maybe 50k, so I have no clue why PKs are even here, but I guess it is what it is. It's a Friday evening, so I think it might happen a couple more times before we're done here, but 50kc, 50 more to go. I'm really looking forward to getting out of here and rolling those 2 chunks. Ooh! Okay, 2 kills later and we get Odium Shard 1. I was kind of hoping on getting one of the shards, and we actually got lucky because this is a 1 in 256, I think. And I'm definitely luckier here than on my main, because I think it's this one I went 7 times the rate for. And there's kill number 100 already. I didn't really see any more PKers, well, none that killed us anyway. So this went by really fast actually. The next task is 250, and I foresee us doing that in the near future, as this is not the worst boss. And maybe, just maybe, we can also get that other shard then, but I think it might be more interesting to go to 100 Scorpia first to maybe get that Odium Shard 3 to get the first shield. But for now, let's go and complete the 2 tasks on our dashboard, and let's pick 2 more chunks. Another 2 fairly fast tasks. We have completed 50kc of the Chaos Fanatic for our 78 boss task and our 399th chunk. And then we also got Chaos Fanatic 100kc complete. And this one is the more special one, as this is going to be our 79th boss chunk, but more importantly, we now have a total of 400 chunks unlocked. Only 225 left and we have completed the account. And then back to the map we go. If we have a look at the map, we have 56 possible chunks to roll, and most of them are actually water, as you can see here at the eastern part of the map. There are also quite a few islands, but from the mainland. If we look, we have 3 more from the desert, 4 somewhere here in Kendrin, and then 2 more in the Fremnik province. Also 2 more over here in Priv, and 3 more here in another part of Terranwen. Like, the mainland is actually almost completely unlocked. We have 2 chunks we can unlock, so let's have a look if we are going to get closer to Courant and Varlamar, or if we are going to unlock one of the remaining chunks here. So the first one is going to be... let's pick a chunk. Okay, it really wants to go further to Varlamar. Again, one closer. But we do not want water chunks, we want landmass chunks. So let's go again. Let's pick a chunk. Okay, it is another part of the mainland, but not that important of a mainland chunk. There is an elite clue step over here, and I think that's the only thing that's actually useful here. I didn't even know there was a hunter tutor here, but alright. Not a bad chunk, but I think from all of the mainland chunks we could have rolled, this was probably the worst. But that's one last chunk we can roll, and we still have one more chunk roll left, so let's have a look which one that's going to be. Let's pick a chunk. Oh, now we're actually really moving up to Varlamar. That is now, and this does not have any landmass, but we're 2 chunks off the Fortis Colosseum, which is kind of interesting. To actually get in here, we actually need to get like 4 chunks away. We need the bird here, so might still take a while before we go into the Varlamar continent. But water chunk again, so let's roll again. Let's pick a chunk. Hey, and we get another mainland chunk, but again a Menaphos chunk, so that's also a dead chunk. It's been a while since we've gotten a streak of dead chunks, so I don't really mind it. We've been lucky for quite a while. We still have a lot of other things to do, so I don't really mind mopping up all of these chunks here. And that's the end of the episode. A massive 400 chunks have been unlocked. We're getting closer and closer to our goal, but with sailing on the horizon, we can expect our goal to be a bit further than the 625 we currently have. But I'm definitely interested in seeing how many chunks sailing will bring. But for now, we're cruising along to the finish line with another 8 chunks unlocked today. Next episode, we are going to keep the speed as high as possible, so have a look out for that one. Have a great day and see you later.